YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? This week, I've got a cool explorer. It's a place that Brandon showed me. This place now has been abandoned for about half a year. The place I'm talking about is this place behind me here, this nice big bungalow. We need to get inside and check it out and see what's going on. But before we do, just to remind you guys that I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers as my next goal. I need all of you to help me out. So if you have not hit that button, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me out. It doesn't cost you a thing. All right, let's not dilly-dally here. Let's start exploring and see what happened with this place. Okay guys, I'm gonna take you for a walk around the outside of the property before we go in. Just want to give you an idea of how large this place is. Like I mentioned, it's going to be redeveloped. And you can see why. Look how deep the yard is. Look how far back it goes. And of course, that's the house there. And they have a big, beautiful deck. Would have been a very cool place to come hang out when it was lived in. Obviously, you can see this deck's in rough shape. It's kind of hard to believe that anybody was here this year. So that's the back door of the house. But yeah, this is a very, very big deck. Lots of hangout space. Oh, this is cool. Oh, it's an old toolbox. That's neat. Just left there. But yeah, let's see what's in the backyard here before we go around front. So they got a little kids playhouse here. That's cool. Now somebody is taking care of the property, probably because they have to. So that's why the grass is cut. And back here we've got a couple of sheds. Yeah, this one here has just got a tarp for a door. You can see some animals bringing food in there. And of course, we got a couple of sheds back here. That one's probably for lawn equipment. Possibly the same thing for this one. Well, this one's kind of large on the front, so a car could have even fit in here maybe. But yeah, it's a fairly decent sized yard. Fairly decent sized. You don't see houses with yards like this anymore. I'll take you around front real quick and then we'll go in. Okay, so this is can't get out here, it's gated closed, but this is where they would have had their cars otherwise. There's a garage there. It looks like some more parking space here they could have used. They've got a couple satellite dishes on the roof. All right, well, I guess we'll go around through the garage then and we'll check out the front. So this is the garage. That's cool. They have a couple of fluorescent lights in here. Somebody left a shopping cart full of stuff. Boots. You got an old Maple Leafs towel there. Go Leafs go. You got some of the original brick of the house poking through. That's interesting. Looks like it might even have been a heated garage. That's neat. Okay, well, this is the front side here. So this is the house. It's a fairly big bungalow. Yeah, very cool looking spot. It's got a nice big patio out front. With a nice garden with a welcome sign. Of course, it's just weeds here now. So nobody's been taking care of this garden for some time. I like that pedestal with the light on it. That's cool. It's a little rough looking now, but at one point, that would have been very neat. But check this out. They got another cool garden out front here. At some point, they had a fountain or mini pond in there. Yeah, this is the house here. Okay guys, so we're going to start this one just inside the front door here. And I think because it's a bungalow, we're going to just work our way around and down to the basement and we'll see what we find. So right away, we're going to start here in the front hallway. And as you can see, the house goes down that way. It goes over this way to this large living room area. And if we turn right, we've got a kitchen right here as well. I'm not exactly sure how old this house is. If I can find out, I'll definitely leave something in the comments. But based on what I'm seeing here, I'm already thinking this house is probably around 1940, 1950. And I'll point out the reasons why as we go. One of the reasons is this front door. This is a very cool, solid front door. You got 3 windows. A couple of them are frosted. That is definitely something you would have seen in the 60s or 70s for sure. And what I really like too, as soon as you turn from the door, you got these little built-in shelves and cabinets in the corner of the wall here, which you don't see very often, but it's a cool way to add space. It's interesting paint in here. I would say this place was redecorated probably in the 90s from the looks of things. It looks like everything is sponge painted, which is now very dated. Here's another look at that shelving I was showing you guys. So here they actually have display units. You got a bookshelf built into the corner. You got some interesting decorative pieces stuck in the archway here. There's one there on that side. And the other side of the arch also has a similar bookshelf and display case, which is empty. And the floors in here look like they're original too. And of course, when you look at enough of these places, you start to realize how old a house can be from the floors. And from the way these floors look, I would say this flooring is probably 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. Another thing that ages this house, or at least points to the time frame where it might have been built, is the plaster work on the ceiling. Now, I'm not exactly sure what they call that, but you can see all these little swirls everywhere. And that is something you don't see anymore. It's a fairly large room. It's got a beautiful big bay window, which is pretty cool. It's also got a nice west-facing window. And it's got a nice sliding door, which goes out to a fairly large backyard. Now, as far as I know, this house and a couple of other houses which are abandoned in the area will be redeveloped at some point. Just not sure when. Oh, I didn't even notice that, but they also have nice crown moldings going around this room. Crown molding always adds a look of class. Yeah, it's definitely a nice finish. And it goes all the way around the ceiling in this room. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So the fireplace is kind of the last feature of this room. And it's a really nice one. Now at some point somebody's damaged it. They've siliconed or glued those pieces back in. But this is a real fireplace. And it's got a fairly nice mantle. And I like those 2 wall sconces above it. I think those are a pretty nice feature. This definitely would have looked cool at night with those on, having certain things lit up for people to see. Okay, so I guess the next logical step then is we'll go down the hallway here. Okay, so you can see they've had a few different types of flooring here. The final floors they used were these vinyl linoleum type floors. But you can see they had some kind of faux wood at some point. And of course they had this linoleum tiling put in the hallway. Okay, and that faux wood is in this room too. So, okay, we'll figure that out as we go. This here is just a big empty closet. This is pretty cool. You got these cabinets built into the wall. This is probably like the linens. That's pretty neat. I always like these built-in cupboards and cabinets. These older houses have them. There's a bag in there. I don't expect anything to be in this house. Now, as far as I know, the people that did live here were in here as recently as the start of the year. When I filmed a house in the area, I did see people here last time I was in this area. So this house became abandoned at some point this year. So this is one of the rooms. And it's got a decent sized closet. Got a little cherry coke there. This is probably electrical. Oh no, it's just more storage. That's interesting. Then we got the attic space up here. Oops. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys or not. Well, there's not much to see up there. Can't reach high enough. But yeah, there's not too much special about this room. I mean, it's kind of in a different time. I like this old window. That's definitely an old window original to the house. It's pretty cool. And the baseboards are kind of old school. They're not like a foot tall like some of the farmhouses, but they're a good 6 inches tall. And they're pretty old looking, so it's starting to support my theory that maybe this is like a 1940s or 50s house. And strangely, this room latched shut. Looks like from the outside. Look at that old light switch, that's cool. Never seen one that looks like that before. That's a very old Honeywell thermostat. Very common, you see those, 60s, 70s, probably 50s. So this green room here is kind of interesting looking. It's not my favorite color of green. And again, they've got this flooring, this faux wood type flooring. And again, one of the original windows of the house. You can see that's definitely original to when they built the house. It's a pretty old school looking window. And this must have been a kid's room or something at some point. They've got glow in the dark stars, planets on the ceiling. So you know that would have been cool at night. All right, let's continue down this way. Oh wow, look at this bathroom. Okay, so we got a very retro, dated looking bathroom. Look at that tiling. Even that old light. That's a very cool light. I like that a lot. Wow. Yeah, just looking at these tiles, is that, no, okay, so that's like a print on the tile. That's interesting. Even that switch cover, or the outlet cover, that's a pretty old looking cover. So, you know, looking at this stuff, I mean, it doesn't match a typical color scheme of the 50s or 60s, but just the tile work alone has me thinking this was probably done in the late 50s, early 60s. It just has that look. It's an interesting shower, so if you're nice and tall, there was room for you. But you had to duck under that to get in. And they have a fairly modern shower head with some older faucets down below. And of course, the brown bomber has not been here. Oh my God. Look how dusty. Ooh. I mean, that blind alone looks like this house has been abandoned for 50 years. It's hard to believe that somebody was living here as soon as 6 months ago and they lived in that kind of filth. That's kind of gross. That's a pretty old school toilet. As I'm just about to leave, I just noticed that's probably a 60s toilet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure when this house was made, but I think it was between the 40s and 60s. What do you guys think? So we got another room here. This looks like another bedroom. Again, you got another original window to the house. Yeah, that's very cool. It's a fairly decent sized room. Maybe this is the master bedroom. So again, they've got this faux wood flooring. But it also looks like at some point they had carpeting in here because you can see they've got the tack boards along the edges. You've got some glue or something that's probably holding the foam down. So that's interesting. And it's not a very big closet either. If this was the master bedroom, that's the smallest master bedroom closet I've ever seen. But yeah, it's a decent little room. I gotta point out though, this fan, look how small those blades are. Is that even gonna do anything? And again, no one's cleaned in here. Maybe this was a rental home or something. The amount of dirt on the blinds and that fan would have me believing that someone rented this place and didn't really care about it in the end. Okay, let's go see the kitchen. So the kitchen again is like stepping into a time machine. That backsplash is really dated looking. Possibly they did that in the 80s, you never know. That was when the marble look was popular, so it's possible. You got a cute little cabinet here. There's nothing left except for a first aid and a big thermos and somebody's clip-on sunglasses. Is there anything above this? No. No, there isn't. It's a very modestly sized kitchen. These cabinets are obviously original to the home. You can tell by the way they look, by the hardware. If this was a 50s, 40s, or 60s home, this stuff would make complete sense to be found. It totally matches the era. That sink is probably a little more modern. And I know I've pointed out before, but I love a house with a sink by the window. And in this case, it's got an east and south facing window at the sink, so that's pretty cool. Over here, you got the range hood, and that's cool. That's a tin insert on that cabinet. It's very sticky, by the way. That knob is sticky. Like this is a smoker house and it's covered in nicotine. That's pretty gross. But I'm pretty sure somebody hammered this out. Maybe this was a craft or maybe somebody did this for them. But that's pretty cool. That's hammered out of tin and they retrofitted it into the cabinet. And there's another cabinet here, nothing in it. So if you back up, obviously the fridge would have been in that corner there and you would have had the oven here. Very modest kitchen, but pretty cozy if you ask me. We got a chandelier in the middle of the kitchen. You got some LED lights on it. Again, you can see the tar and the nicotine that's built up all over those light bulbs, so you know this was a smoker house. Okay, let's see what's over here in this cabinet. Number one, patient. You got some mouse turds. You got a first alert fire extinguisher. Every kitchen should have one of those. Door's missing there. There's nothing in there. And there's nothing in there. I guess this was a little bit of counter space where somebody could have had a couple of bar stools to eat at, or maybe this was an area they prepped food. Who knows? So that door there looks like something you would have seen in a house in the 80s or 90s. It's typical of a door from that time frame. It's got the fake stained glass. Very common. Oh, I like that. So this cabinet here wraps around the wall, but it's got a cool little mirrored display area too. So that's neat. You don't see that in every house either. And look at that dirt mark on the wall. You know people just rubbed their filthy hands on this wall every time they went down here. All right, well, let's see what's in the basement. All right, so now we're in the basement. And right away, you got some of that retro wood paneling. Very 70s looking, 60s, 70s. Over here is the laundry space. Obviously there's not much left now. You got some mold on the walls down there. That's not good. Like I said, people were living in here early this year. That mold didn't just happen, so that's a little concerning. Nothing in these cabinets, which are also very sticky. Gross. There's nothing on the shelving there. No. Of course, They still got some water dripping in there. So they did some work on this heater in October of 2020. The water heater, which is interesting. And of course you got your electrical panels. All right, let's continue through this basement. It's not the nicest of basements. You wouldn't be hanging out down here every day, that's for sure. That furnace looks somewhat new-ish. I mean, there's a lot of dust and dirt on it, so it's been here for a while. But I bet you it's at least from the last 20 years. That's cool. We got a paddle here. No fear. Anything in the freezer? No. And that's from the boiler. They had a boiler in here before the furnace. So at one point in time, a boiler sat here, and it would have heated the house through this brick chimney that went all the way up. And they would have had vents coming off of that to feed all the rooms upstairs. Okay, so back here looks like a little rec room. Again, those are some really old windows, definitely original to the house. They've also graded them off so people can't break them and get in. That's a cool little mantle down there. And this is for an electric fireplace. That's pretty cool. Interesting design work with the bricks there, how they angled them there so they stick out. And this closet here, beside the fireplace, is empty. It's just a little makeshift cabinet type closet. But yeah, this is just a very tiny little rec room. I'm assuming the people who lived here did this. Oh, we didn't check this. Let's see what's in here. Nothing. Okay, let's wander over to this area. Nothing back there. Okay, so this is the larger part of the basement. This is like another entertainment area. Maybe this is the real hangout area of the basement. We've even got some tile work on the walls, some cabinets, a really old table. That's cool. 1989 Britannica. Perhaps at one point in time this was a kitchen. Maybe they had a kitchen down here. It's kind of got that kitchen flooring. But then, you know, they got this over here, so it is kind of weird. And they got lock on the outside of the door again. So I guess if you misbehave, they could just lock you down here. So this old couch, oh, they definitely had pets too. Look at all the dog hair. So this old couch here is set up in front of an old electric fireplace, which is a TV stand too. So obviously at some point they had a TV down here. So that's cozy. You had your TV, electric fireplace, possibly a kitchen over there. Very makeshift light set up there. Yeah, it's kind of a strange basement, isn't it? Oh, wow. And then we got a bedroom down here. Yeah, see, they never even finished the renovations. They drywalled, but they never even taped or anything. And that looks like a real fireplace, which they covered over. It's beautiful mantle, beautiful brickwork. And over here, you got two sconces, and there's more brickwork on the wall. Yeah, that's very cool. I like the floating shelves made out of brick. That is really, really cool. You just don't see stuff like this. And of course, over here, you got those same old windows as the other room. And a basic shelving unit. And a king-size bed. Or, sorry, a queen-size bed. Is there anything in here? It's just another shelving unit. Okay, well, let's see what this last area is over here. We'll wrap this one up. Okay, so over here it looks like we got another bedroom. This one, the door was latchable from the inside. As you can see, you got a couple of mattresses here, or a mattress and a box spring. We got some foam linoleum on the floor. They got a really basic closet in the back corner of this room. Very basic makeshift closet. Interesting. A little window to outside. And that's part of the heating system. Wow. So the outside water was buried in the ceiling here. They had to pull the ceiling down to shut off the outside water. That's interesting. And over here we got another really old bathroom. This one's like, it's got pink in the tile, I think. Yeah, it looks like pink and orange and brown. This is a really dated looking bathroom. Again, that toilet looks a lot like the other one. Same kind of shelving unit. But what's crazy in here is this tile work. Look at this. How old are these tiles? 60s? Late 50s? You guys tell me. Looking at this vanity here, I would kind of think late 50s, early 60s. Just from the designs and the actual sink itself. That's a cool medicine cabinet. Is it open? Yeah. There's nothing in it. That's crazy. Nice frosted windows. They got a shelf or a shower with a mirrored door. And inside the actual shower. I guess it's what's left of the belongings from the people that used to live here. And you've got some Q-tips and bathroom stuff, but there's also kids stuff and random belongings. Very interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for this Explore. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed bringing this one to you. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button. And of course, leave a comment after the episode. And if you haven't, please make sure you hit that subscribe button there. Check out last week's video there. And check out the random video up there. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.